EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Uptown Charlotte and rain-soaked Bank of America Stadium. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
The Carolina Rains have arrived as we are inside a soggy Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Throwing quickly, that's caught by Brown out wide. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
The draft day trade sent Hollywood Brown much closer to Hollywood when Baltimore shipped him to Arizona for a first-round pick. He's joining the Cardinals at a great time, too, coming off of a breakout season that saw him cross 1,000 yards for the first time on a career-best 91 receptions. He's going to make an already exciting offense that much more dynamic.
Now the NFL's leader in rushing touchdowns last year is James Conner. No gain on the play there, second down. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
On play action, it's Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Murray. He's going to look deep for more. And he fires one that's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Cards are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Wait a second, that's got to be a mistake. They declined it.
That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, it doesn't at all, because you want that penalty. All right, they just picked up a first down, right? You want the penalty.
I am so confused right now. Mayfield and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. On the toss, they run wide side with McCaffrey. Tackled by Isaiah Simmons.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people, because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers, because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Mayfield. Got a man, that's Rashard Higgins. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 38. McCaffrey on the counter. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. The Panthers at 3-0 here in the month of September. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Throwing on 2nd down. Mayfield. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Gonzalez out now to try the Panther field goal. This one from 48 yards away. And he missed it. Gonzalez has pushed it to the right.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss, because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed him up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
They fake the handoff. Now Murray. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Up the gut, McCaffrey. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Throwing, Mayfield. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he is going to have the Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. Isabella not going to risk a return here, and they'll start at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Here's Murray. And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. And that catch, he just hit number 800 in his NFL career.
And just think, that puts you in top 35 range all time in the NFL in terms of number of catches. One significant guy in that number, Shannon Sharp, who was a tight end. That's big-time play right there.
They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Mayfield. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It's Zaven Collins who got in there to get the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off by Byron Murphy. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week, when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Play fake. Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll decide to keep this once more. And a short gain down to about the 33. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
And that is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Here's Murray from midfield. And his throw here is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Murray. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Derek Brown gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
They'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 34-yard line. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow them to convert a 3rd and 18. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. Murray a give. This is Connor. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. James Conner, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. Extra point good by Prater. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Mayfield off the play fake. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They're starting to put some space here. You know, the first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They'll stay on the ground with Conner again. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Murray now. And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, Mayfield. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mayfield.
Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And that will be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
This is brought in at the 21. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half.
Takes it at the 7.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. And that has to be so frustrating because you know that they had something set up there for this first drive of the 2nd half. It wasn't the fumble.
Sometimes no matter what you go over at halftime, no matter what you say, errors will result, and that's exactly what happened here. They were trying to change things from what happened in the first half. Instead, they continue to make mistakes.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Second down and right back to McCaffrey.
And it's a foot race. 30, the 20. Touchdown, Carolina.
Christian McCaffrey, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and we are tied at 14. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Murray now on first down. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he's brought down. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals first down as well.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Murray. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
To throw is Murray. Looking deep for his tight end Ertz. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
And this one is no good. He missed it, and we will remain tied here in this third quarter.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one for 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 111 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
2nd and 8 coming from the 19.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here, regular. Run.
To throw, Mayfield. Complete on the quick throw to Moore. And the Panthers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle made at the 10-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown.
Chuba Hubbard.
A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Panthers have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the lead is now 21-14. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away.
Pulls it in at the 13. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down.
And some room to roam now. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, but it's going to be 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Panthers are going to take over here up near the 40.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You taking charge.
And the all-pro safety Budda Baker in on the tackle. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And just a 30-yard punt that time.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
117 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Murray's throw complete here to his receiver Brown.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. On 1st and 10 is Connor. Room here to run. Touchdown, Cardinals. James Conner with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Cards are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
Takes it at the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter.
The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Second down and right back to McCaffrey.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll try and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy. All these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we got a lot of turnovers. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
20! Touchdown, Cardinals! Hollywood, Marquise Brown, 44 yards. And the Cardinals have broken our tie and have taken a fourth-quarter lead. Prater for the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
From the 6. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
From the 38, Mayfield.
This is Anderson, and they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
He's been quiet all afternoon. He may have just come up with a play of the day right there, though.
Obviously, it's not the volume in what you get done. It's the quality, and that was a quality catch right there.
Mayfield.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the fourth.
Man, you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
McCaffrey following the penalty. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's Baker.
Open man is Robbie Anderson.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Well, tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Open man left side. It's the tight end Trimble. And the Panthers are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
All right, they picked up yardage, but they've got to get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it. They've got one timeout left. Want to save it.
A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. Gonzalez to add the PAT. And no sweat, he puts it through. And we are tied here in the 4th. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the save call is to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Now Murray.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So the Panthers going to get the football first here in overtime as the kick is away. From the 6. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. All set up for them right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 22. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 47. From the shotgun to McCaffrey.
Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 181 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. And he rifles one incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield.
And that nearly picked off. Oh, that would have been a big INT here in overtime. Instead, they'll get another shot on 3rd down.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing. Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Here's Johnny Hecker now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Hey, 86. He's sneaky guy. Watch out. Big ace open.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied.
Coming up on 2nd and 7.
What can Murray do now with his drive? And that's complete to Brown.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll fake it to counter. Now Murray. And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. Yetur Gross-Matos getting in there to make the play.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
All right, Charles, so this offense, they need to mount something here. Time is dwindling. They can't get anything going on this drive. This one might end in a tie.
Yeah, that clock putting a little extra pressure on them, right? So now, as you look at the playbook, what are you breaking out? Is there something you haven't used before? Is there something you used earlier that you can go back to? Or can one of your guys just make one of those big-time plays that decides this game?
On second down, McCaffrey. And he's going to be stopped up just short of the first down at the Cardinals' 33.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. And everything right now rests on the right foot of Zane Gonzalez. This to win it in overtime. And now the Cardinals are going to use another timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And the Panthers have won the football game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Panthers, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they'll drop down to 1-3.